This is some good stuff that starts to help you bring all this stuff into perspective. This is the area I'm really passionate about, is your habits and routines. Because everything else doesn't matter unless you get this stuff right. Okay, so if you're going to take notes, you're going to have to write quick, because this is going to be like, we call it the hairdryer treatment in the UK. So we're going to go quickly through this, but there should be some good stuff, okay? And everyone will probably take out something different. So habits and routines, okay? Opportunity does not waste time with those who are unprepared. Opportunity does not waste time with those who are unprepared. Okay, some people would say, you know, luck, it's luck that gets us anywhere, and that's where preparation meets opportunity. You know, nobody, like if you're in a band, yes, you may get seen at a bar playing one night, that's pretty lucky. The guy who discovered Oasis was late, missed his train, happened to go in a bar, and Oasis were playing, and bang, next thing they're everywhere. Lucky. No, because they were in the band, they were in the bar playing, right? Yeah. So it's so important, you've got to be on the field of play in order to get luck. And the way you do that is by your actions. You know, champions are made behind closed doors. You know? There's no overnight success. So, basically, I say this all the time, awareness precedes change. So the key to all this stuff, we've gone through, we've highlighted some stuff that we want to do, that we want to achieve. But the key thing is we've got to start being aware of what it is we do in our life every single day that's taking us towards our goals or away from them. You do 1,000 things every single day. You have 1,000 thoughts. Every one of them is taking you towards your dreams or away from your dreams. Towards a life that you want or away from it. Towards money or towards debt. You know, towards good health or towards poor health. Every single day we've got all of those choices. Now that awareness allows you to make a choice. And those awareness are the pathway to self-mastery. Because self-mastery is about the habits that you have every single day. It's self-control, it's doing things you don't necessarily want to do, but doing them because they're the right thing. And only by being aware of what you do, and being aware of the things that you need to do, can we get to self-mastery. And it's all in your habits, it's all in your mindset. So what are habits? Habits are a routine of behaviour that's repeated regularly and tends to occur subconsciously. Basically, our habits and our routines and the way we live, 90% of our life is done by the subconscious. It allows us to act without thinking so that we can keep our senses aware for danger. Yeah, we're creatures that come from, you know, where we had to survive. So basically, a lot of things we do in our day-to-day life, we're programmed naturally to operate that way, so it's okay. This isn't like, oh, I do this and I'm bad for doing it. We're naturally programmed to do things in this manner to keep us safe so that we can keep our eyes on what's going on. But the key thing is we've got to be aware so that we can start to change those. So the things that we do, it's like a tape that plays. You know, and these, I'll come to it in a second about how it all happens. But basically there's two types of habits. Obviously we know these. Good habits and bad habits. Okay? Now bad habits, the things that are taking you away from your goals. You already know what these are. You know the foods that you eat that are making you unhealthy. You know the people that you hang around with who are a bad influence on you. You know the places that you go that distract you, that potentially get you in trouble. You know if you're a guy and you hang out with a certain girl, she's going to cause trouble, and you make that choice too or not. You know, if you go out and you stay out too late, you know you're going to get in trouble. If you have that cake, you know that it's not helping you to have the health that you want. So it's important to know that, and again, be aware of the fact that we allow these habits to be part of our day-to-day life. And also, you know, the bad habits, it's the path of least resistance. Again, we as creatures want to do things easily, and we'll do things that's the path of least resistance to us. So it's really, really easy to just open up a packet of something and eat it, versus being prepared or making nice snacks or whatever it be. It's easy. You know, it's easy when if you're going out and you're trying to not drink, but it's easy to have a beer because it's hard to go, oh, I'm not drinking. You know, there's all these things. It's easy to come home and put your feet up on the couch versus putting your gym clothes on and going out. We know what we should be doing, but it's easy to not do. The good things are easy to do, but they're also easy to not do. I thought we had good habits here. So, how do they work, basically? Well, good habits is the other way. I don't know if we've got a slide going to come in a second, but your good habits, basically, they are the things that you know are taking you towards your goals. You know, and sometimes they're the things that aren't damaging you. You know, it's okay to have some habits that aren't necessarily taking you towards your goals, as long as they're kind of not taking you away from them. It's really important, that. So, how do habits work? This is what I say, it's all about, it's basically pre-programmed for us. A lot of these things, we're just totally not aware that we're doing them. We're not aware that they're a habit, because that's just what we do. So this is important, to start to actually pay attention to this as you go about after this weekend. We're not going to do a full breakdown on this, but basically what I want is for everybody to start being mindful of what you do. I'll give you a little set of stuff to do to track where you're at on a day-to-day basis, but your habits are based with various triggers or cues. And they're throughout day-to-day life. So you have people, there's certain things that you do with certain people that you do with them, but you wouldn't do with somebody else. You might have that friend when you go out with them, they're the smoker and you smoke with them, but you don't smoke the rest of the time. You know, you may have that person that you go and you catch up and you have a coffee and a donut, because that's just what you do, but again, that's not taking you towards where you want to be. You may have that friend who's the bitchy person, and you get together and you stir the cauldron, you know, the witches around the cauldron with your spoons, and it's negative city. It's not taking you towards where you want to be. You know, because the more you allow that in, the more that will come. Same with places. You know, places that you go. And this is like, you do certain things at work. You know, at work, you may be that way that you have the morning tea because you're at work. Whereas you're trying to be healthy. You may have a bottle of water on your desk at work because that's just part of your habit, but you don't have one at home. So at the weekend you don't drink water. And it's really important to start to see these things that you do that are good and bad. Again, as you work through these, your environment, it's like Alex was saying about the guitar. Environment is so important, especially in our home, because in the home is where most of our habits are born, where most of them exist. So our environment is really important. Now, you may see the couch, and the couch is where you sit down and watch TV. You know, so it's really interesting. What we've got to do is have associations and change associations of certain things. We're in that situation that you've got to move a room around, because when you look at your environment, you may have set up so many little routines within your house that you might have to literally change the whole thing around. Have a little space, like if you try and work at home but you work on your knee on the couch, is that productive? Because you might be like, I'm on the couch, I'll put the TV on. You know, do you need to create yourself a little desk? If you've got kids at home, do you need to have a way of identifying at this time when this banner's up, this flag's up, this door's closed, that I'm working? You've got to create these habits in your environment. Yeah. You know, if you've got a cookie jar, you know, do you have a cookie jar at home? If you've got a cookie jar, you're going to walk past it, you're going to pick one out. Versus if you have a fruit bowl and the cookie jar's in the cupboard, you might be a little bit more likely to pick a piece of fruit. All these little things are the cues. They come down to our routines, and what we've got to do is actually also identify the things that lead to others. You know, the things that you do that lead to other good habits, and things that you do that lead to other bad habits. So it's just about being mindful about what we do every single day. And it seems so obvious, but it's like anything, we don't spend the time to look at these things. So really important just to start to be mindful of this. And again, the mindset, so important with regards to our mindset. I'll cover this a little bit later, but making that choice to do the things that we know are good for us. You know, we're commonly very emotionally driven. So really important to start to look and do the things that we know are good for us and be mindful about what we do. Great quote from Benjamin Franklin. By preparing to fail, you prepare to fail. By failing to prepare, you prepare to fail.
Dave failed to prepare.
Preparation is key. At the end of the day, like, you know, I know there's a lot of people in the room when we talk about this kind of stuff, like Carla with her setting things up for the next day with her camera to make some videos because she's recording a course. You know, she said that it's just there's too much to kind of think about in the morning. So well, note down what it is you're going to do. Note down the 2 or 3 things you're going to achieve in the day. Set your cameras up ready, and then just do it. You know, food is a massive one for people. Being prepared. You know, creating healthy snacks, pre-cooking. You know, meal prepping. If you want to be healthy, the number one thing I could recommend to anybody is meal prep. You know, because then you don't have to grab something on the go. But again, we've got to be prepared in all areas of our life. And that's giving it the time and the attention to be successful in it. So these are the keys, setting yourself up for success. Okay, you've got to map out your day. It's so important to know what you're doing every single day. I'd say for everybody to take away from this, to create yourself a time block. To actually note down in like a spreadsheet, in a Word doc, in a calendar, anything, what it is you do for every 15 minutes of your day, all day. Note it down, every single task, every single item. Actually within that, track the activities that you do. Literally think about what you've done every few minutes of the day. Like, this is a bit time taking, but this will quickly show you what you're doing. What do you do when you wake up? What do you do when your alarm goes off? Do you hit snooze or do you get up? You know, hitting snooze is just, you know, you're just shutting down to life. You're awake, but you're not getting out of bed. You know, what are you doing? Do you get up? Do you check your phone first, or do you go and do you do some reading? Do you do some exercise? What do you have for breakfast? You know, do you have a bagel? Do you have toast, or do you make yourself a nice green smoothie? All of these things is all habits. It's not difficult to make a smoothie, but putting toast in is easy. You know, so note all of these things down. Every single activity that you do, just do a little mark against it. A plus sign if it's good, a minus sign if it's bad, and like a 0 if it's neutral. And just look at it all. You know, see what you're doing every day, because it'll be a compelling story when you look at it. How many bad habits that we all have? Everybody's the same. Start to learn your cues. If you see something that's a bad habit, look and go, right, well, what has led me to that? What are the actions that I did prior to this? Because quite commonly we go through like this little scenario that it's almost like a tape on replay. We just do this, then we do this, then we do this, then we do this. Like, you can drive to work and not even think about it, and you're like, whoa, how did I get here? And it's the same through our whole life. There's all of these cues that lead us from one activity to another to another. So important to do this task and see what leads you from one thing to the other. Because commonly, if you change the first action, you can start to change the rest. Really important, you know, look and go packing a gym bag and stuff like that. If you pack it, take it to work, and go straight from work, you're not going to get home and decide I'm not going to go to the gym. You just go straight from work. Because when you get home, I've had a hard day, the couch is easy, my dinner's ready. You know, that's one little scenario, and there's thousands of them. And again, preparing your environment. Like I said to Alex, get your guitar out, leave it out, don't put it away. Get rid of the cookie jar, have a bowl of fruit. Have a bottle of water that you carry. I've always got, well, it's not there. That is irony. So I've always got a bottle of water everywhere I go, because I drink a lot, and I know when I've got it, I'm drinking it. If you don't have it, you just don't drink. So all of these things. This is a brilliant quote, and I absolutely love Will Smith. And if you haven't consumed any stuff of Will Smith before you kind of do, you've seen him in films and stuff. He's like such an amazing personal development guru. I've always considered myself to be just average talent, and what I have is a ridiculous, insane obsessiveness for practice and preparation. Like, I wasn't a good lacrosse player. I'm not. You know, there's a lot of people who are better than me. I'm not fit. I don't particularly like running. You know, there's a whole heap of things that I wasn't very good at. But what I was determined. You know, when we ran and I felt like shit, I kept on running. You know, because I was determined. You know, I'd be up in the front group with the guys that were running, and pretty much it was like 2 squads running. There was the people who didn't care, and the people who were either super fit or did care. And the 5 or 6 of us at 40 that were in the top group running, they were all fit, far fitter than me, and they were running, they were hardly even having to try. It killed me, but I was always with them. You know, I played hard, I trained hard, and that got me in the squad. And some people questioned it, but it doesn't matter, because I'm the one with 2 gold medals. So realistically, anybody can be good at anything to a level. All you've got to do is just obsess over it and take action. Yeah. And that will get you there. Over 99% of people, it's the action bit. And it's what you do every single day, the choices you make every single day that take you either to success or away from it, and it's as simple as a choice. I am the person who is this. I am the healthy person. I am the successful person. I am the person who watches my money. I am the person who cares about my relationships. And if you say that person, it's pretty easy. Just do what those people would do. And this is it. This is a big bit. Setting the intention. We said before, and I said about the goal setting. When you set an intention, everything can start to happen. But this is so powerful. When you set an intention, you're 50% more likely to achieve what you want to achieve when you set a solid intention for it. Like we said, a goal is a dream with a deadline. Setting an intention will help you to get there, and it's so important to set an intention solidly. You know, when you call someone and you ask them if they're going to be there, and they go, yeah, probably. I'll get back to you. It's like a polite no. Isn't it? You know, when you say it, it's a polite no. So realistically, you look and go to yourself, make a date with your dreams, make a date with your destiny. You know, set it down and make a date for yourself. Anything that you're going to do, set an intention. And that is when you're going to do it, where it's going to happen, how long you're going to do it for. What are you going to give up? You know, because for everything, you know, you either do something or don't do something, it has a consequence. But, you know, success is in sacrifice. Because if it was easy, everybody would have it. Success is in sacrifice, and the more you're willing to give up, the more you're going to get. But it's about giving up the stuff that isn't important and taking the actions that are a little bit uncomfortable, but take it towards your dreams. You know, what's the reward? How do you reward yourself at the end of that sacrifice? There's got to be something in it for most people. And that's it. Why are you doing it? You know, it's so important to know why something's important to you. To go inside your soul and ask yourself, well, you know, what is it that's going to drive me to this? So important. We're not really doing the whys today, but really important to know why you're doing something. Who will you do it with? Who's your team? So important to have your team around you. You know, but a lot of the time we think we've got to do things on our own, and we don't. I'm good at certain things. I'm not so good at other things. You know, in our business, I'm good at 25% of stuff and rubbish at the rest. So I just don't do them. Be good at what you're good at, and get the people around you to facilitate with it. But who's in your team is so important, because if you've got people around you who don't support you, if you don't set your family and your friends and your kids, maybe your boss, maybe, you know, some work colleagues, maybe if you're in a business, MLM business, anything else, get a team around you of people. If you go to the gym, get a work buddy. You need, you know, we don't succeed on our own. Very few people do as a lone wolf. You've got to have a team around you to help you. And this is it. This is the key to it all. Use a calendar to time block. Everything has to go in your calendar. If you don't put it in your calendar, you're not going to do it. If you leave things up to your willpower and your own mind to remember, it will not happen. If you don't use a calendar, you've got to use one. You've got to get it in your phone. You've got to time block stuff in. What time you go to the gym? You know, this is why I play futsal with these guys. Well, we're trying to play futsal. We're pretty awful. But, you know, we're getting better, right? We're practicing hard work. We're getting better every week. But like, that's why I do it, because it's a blocked in time. It's a commitment. You pay $180 for 10 games or whatever it is. You've got to show up. You paid. We've made a commitment to each other. We play. You know, so it's so important to book a date for your dreams. Book a date in with your kids. You know, book date night with your partner. Book time in when you're gonna do personal development. Book a slot in for when you're gonna do work. You've got to put it in the diary, because you can't leave it to chance. And then get your team on your side. You've got to have those difficult conversations. If you've got a partner that doesn't support you, like, that is going to make you 95% likely to fail. You've got to get your partners on side. You've got to get your kids on side. If you've got kids, you need to explain that this is like mummy or daddy's time when I'm going to be doing this, and when I'm doing this, it's just 1 hour, or whatever it be. But they've got to know. Because the amount of time you see people and they're supposed to be working, but the kids, the kids are interfering with them or whatever else, you've got to book it out. And if you've got to get out of the house, leave the house. You know, if people who have AFL training or whatever else, AFL training is on that night, 7 p.m, Thursday night, they're there. Everybody knows they're there. It has to be that way in your house that people know that time, that day, whatever else, I'm doing this. And everyone's got their own scenario. It might be your girlfriend. You know, we know the girlfriend's a media. No, I'm joking. You know, that was a joke. It might be your girlfriend, you know, it might be the kids, whatever it be. So important to get that blocked in. Okay, so do build that time block, put it in your calendar, get people on your side. And this is, I think, the most important thing of all of it. And I know this because in Rise Academy, these are the people who are wanting to build their businesses, who are wanting to take their life forward, and yet this has come up for everybody. Everyone, this has come up for. Your morning routine is, I think, the cornerstone to everything that you do in your day, because so commonly, by the time you get to the end of the day, you know, life has kicked the ass out of you so much that you don't want to do anything. So it's so important to know who you are. And people who say they're not a morning person, that's just an excuse for laziness, in my mind. There's no such thing as being a morning person or not being a morning person. It's that decision that I'm going to get up. That's it. So if you say you're not a morning person, stop lying to yourself. That's all I can say. That's it. It's an excuse to stay up late and get up late, because nothing happens that's good for you past like 8 p.m. TV and food and whatever else. Now, if you've got goals, you've got to work for it, and most of the good stuff can happen in the morning. One, set your alarm. Seems so stupid, but it's so true. You've got to set your alarm and get up. You know what time you're going to get up. Set your alarm. Keep it away from you. Do not hit snooze.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yep. Just when your alarm goes off, swing your legs up, get out of the floor. Get out of the floor, get on the floor. You can't hit snooze. Like, if you snooze, like, that is a habit. And when you do it once, you do it again. Every day. You know, people snooze for an hour. It's not good. You know, don't snooze. Get your warm clothes close if you need them. Obviously, coming into winter, set your clothes out. If they're by the bed, if they're in the bathroom, like, you know, at the moment, I'm having to sleep in my daughter's room with Danielle while she's just was sort of getting her settled. But my warm clothes are on the couch immediately outside that door. So I just come out, bang, they're on straight away. You know, especially coming into the winter. Get your feet on the ground, drink water as soon as possible, like having a glass of water as quickly as possible. It wakes you up, you're dehydrated, you're not charged. Get some good water into you nice and early. Brush your teeth. Honestly, this wakes you up. Yeah. I don't think there's anything wakes you up better than brushing your teeth. By the time you've done it, you're literally just awake.
Cold shower.
And move. Yeah, it's a bit too
it.
gangster for me, I'm not. But yeah, if you need to get in a cold shower, it does work. It's a bit too hardcore for me. Brushing my teeth does okay for me, I'll stick with that. And move. So important, like, you've got to move your body, move with speed. Like, if you stand like this, you naturally feel like down. If you stand and you're up and you're strong and you're confident, it naturally makes you feel better. Move about your house with purpose. Don't move about like a troglodyte, like, I'm so tired, gonna go make a brew. Like, move, walk, water, coffee, next. Start to move like you're attacking the day. You know, get everything firing. Because if you act like you're awake, you'll be awake. If you act like you're still asleep, you're gonna still be asleep. And you know, you're playing that when you walk. If you like this in the morning, you're playing the tape to yourself like you're not a morning person. When you just get up and do it, you're done. And that's it with these. Just do it. Create your time block. I know, cute, isn't it? Again, here after work, it's pretty simple, really. all the stuff that you know isn't helping you, try and stop doing it. If you're going to watch some TV, maybe just try and do a few bits of something that's productive while you're watching TV. There's always something you can maybe just do on your laptop. Yeah, whatever it be. Put your phone on flight mode when you go to bed. Phones really do affect your sleep. Journal, if you can write your thoughts down before you go to bed, what's been good, what's been bad, set your goals. That will help you have a better night's sleep and allow your brain to do some good stuff for you. Brush your teeth, hopefully we all do that, and go to bed. Don't fanny about on your phone and on YouTube and all that kind of stuff. Once you're done, like, go to bed. Phone off, teeth, bed. Like, not the other way around. You've got to allow your brain to go down a little bit, because you look at your phone right before you go to bed. You're just allowing more crap back into your brain again. You've got to rid it with the journaling, and then and then get in bed. And this is it. Dwayne Johnson, The Rock. He was basically nothing, with nothing in his pockets, and decided he was going to change his life. So this guy is literally somebody where you can take massive things from. He was a wrestler and then just an ultimate movie star, and now he's just rich and does cool stuff, which is good. But success isn't always about greatness. It's about consistency. Consistent hard work leads to success. Greatness will come. That's it. What that greatness doesn't matter. You might be the best mum in the world. You might just be happy. You may want to be great at guitar. Whatever it be, doesn't matter. Greatness doesn't have to be what the world tells you is successful. Greatness is just you being happy, and whatever you write your 10 bullet points down, achieving them. That's it. And it just comes down to this: consistent hard work and nothing else. And this is the last bit, I think. GoPro. We've got to stop being driven by our emotions, what we like, what we don't like, what's easy, what food tastes nice, what your fears are. We've got to make that decision and start to just do what's good for you. This comes up so often. Ask yourself, what would a successful person do here? What would a sporty person do here? What would the champion do here? What would a kick-ass salesman do here? And do it. Whether you like it or not, just give it a go. We've got to stop being so emotionally driven, because our emotions generally are sabotage.